Oh, hell yeah. It's Monday Night Football. Texans Saints underway. Texans leading the New Orleans Saints 7-3 after a 21-yard rushing touchdown from quarterback Deshaun Watson. And then the Saints actually literally just kicked a field goal to make it 7-3. But also, the Texas Rattlesnake is in the ring on WWE Monday Night Raw, kicking off Raw this evening as they return to Madison Square Garden for the first time in 10 years. Austin going back in history, telling some stories about hitting Vince McMahon with a stunner. Vince's first stunner he received from Stone Cold was inside Madison Square Garden. Chat questions and comments always greatly appreciated. Monday Night Football, WWE Monday Night Raw this evening. I'm Cool Hand Luke 96, live reactions, play-by-play, live right here on Periscope. Also, be sure to share hashtag Monday Night Football and hashtag WWE, hashtag Raw. Hell yeah. Austin out in the ring, about to moderate the contract signing for the Universal Championship for this upcoming Sunday's WWE pay-per-view Clash of Champions between the monster among men, Braun Strowman, who is now coming down to the ring, and then the Universal Champion, Seth frickin' Rollins. Commercial break for Monday Night Football. So I'm currently watching Monday Night Football and WWE Monday Night Raw. Strowman and Rollins are the Raw Tag Team Champions right now as well, but they will be facing off for the Universal Championship come Sunday. Actually, 2 matches for both the superstars, as they will have a Raw Tag Team Championship match and then a Universal Championship match versus one another at Clash of Champions on Sunday, which is in Charlotte, North Carolina, streaming live on the WWE Network. I will be live right here on Periscope doing more live reactions, play-by-play of football and professional wrestling, so be sure to tune in. Back to the action with Monday Night Football. Saints kick off left to right across your television screen. Switching it up tonight, doing audio-only live reactions, play-by-play, live right here on Periscope, so thank you for tuning in. Like, follow, and subscribe to Gridiron Ring and myself, Cool Hand Luke 96, on social media. Links are actually in the description below if you're watching on playback on YouTube. Chat questions and comments, always greatly appreciated. Share this, hashtag Monday Night Football MNF, hashtag WWE, and hashtag Raw as well. Be sure to follow myself, Cool Hand Luke 96, over on Twitter and right here on Periscope. Now, Austin introduces the Universal Champion, the Beast Slayer, Seth frickin' Rollins. Burn it down. Pass was complete to DeAndre Hopkins for the Houston Texans from Deshaun Watson for a gain of 3. Ball at the 28-yard line. Handoff. That is Duke Johnson, the former Cleveland Brown, was traded to H-Town after Lamar Miller went down with an ACL injury during the preseason. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to follow myself, Cool Hand Luke 96, right here on Periscope. Twitter is also the same. Gridiron 18, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube, almost at 1,000 subscribers, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will be making a thank you video once I hit 1,000 subscribers, so keep an eye out for that. Also, this upcoming week, keep an eye out for college football Week 3, NFL Week 2, and WWE Clash of Champions prediction videos. I'll recap college football Week 2 and preview Week 3, and recap NFL Week 1 and preview Week 2. So Strowman in the ring, along with Seth frickin' Rollins, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Texas Rattlesnake himself, moderating this contract signing. So all 3 superstars in the ring. Austin shakes hands with both Strowman and Rollins. And Raw is in NYC at the Garden, Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. Still 7-3 Texans and Saints. About halfway through the second quarter, 7:30 to play. And on the previous play, we had a incomplete pass intended for DeAndre Hopkins once again. And it's going to be 2nd and 8, I do believe. Second and 10 will make that. Man in motion, empty backfield. Play clock winding down. Quick bubble screen to the near side. Complete. Duke Johnson out to the 48. Going to be a yard shy of the first down marker. Rollins doing the what chance with Stone Cold on Raw. Stone Cold is on Raw this evening for one thing and one thing only, and that is to moderate this Universal Championship contract signing. However, I did hear reports earlier today that the Fiend Bray Wyatt could make an appearance and take out the Texas Rattlesnake. Kenny Stills, former Miami Dolphin, who the Texans traded for just recently, with the reception, first down, Houston, was traded from Miami about a week and a half ago now, August the 31st, from the Miami Dolphins, along with Laramie Tunsil for draft picks. In the meantime, the Texans traded Jadeveon Clowney to the Seattle Seahawks, who played yesterday in a win over the Cincinnati Bengals, 21-20. If you guys have chat questions and comments, let me know in the comment section below. I'll also recap college football from this past week during halftime, as well with NFL action from yesterday. This is the first game of the doubleheader for Monday Night Football this evening. Coming up after this game, the Raiders will host the Denver Broncos to kick off 2019 in NFL 100. Braun Strowman telling Seth frickin' Rollins he's about to open a can of whoop ass on him, and all Austin can do is laugh. Rollins laughing his ass off too. Strowman signing the contract. Big second down run for the Houston Texans for Carlos Hyde, who was traded from Kansas City to the Texans just recently as well. Houston making moves because they believe they can win now, and I believe them as well, out to the 25-yard line. But here comes the United States champion in the WWE, along with the club, AJ Styles, Mr. Phenomenal, out with Big Luke Gallows and Machine Gun Carl Anderson on Raw. This might set up a potential Raw Tag Team Championship match for either tonight or on Sunday. Styles, by the way, too, does not have a United States Championship match on Sunday. Styles doing his best Stone Cold impression. Styles asking, does anybody really even care about that anymore? And that does get a huge reaction. Yes chance now. Austin kicked off the show right at the top of the hour. Styles, great heel with some what, and then shut up to the crowd in New York City. Advertisement for Clash of Champions, which is this Sunday, live streaming on the WWE Network at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 5 minutes to play in the first half with the Texans and Saints. Third down. Styles says, this is all your fault. Watson airs it out, incomplete. Looks like the Texans will kick a field goal. Flag on the play, though. Styles says this has to do with Strowman and Rollins. You're not involved. We have a holding on the Saint defense. Styles with a shot towards New York City. Styles tells Stone Cold Steve Austin to shut his mouth. Maybe in the main event we'll have a match with Stone Cold and AJ Styles. Highly doubt it, but you never know. Run on first down for Houston. Duke Johnson, number 25. Carlos Hyde wearing 23. Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson, both former Browns. Asshole chance now for AJ Styles, the United States champion. There's Bill O'Brien, former offensive coordinator in New England with the Patriots, also coached right here in Happy Valley with the Penn State Nittany Lions for 2 years in 2012 and 2013 before taking the Houston Texan job. Last night, the Patriots defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 33-3. If you guys tune in and watch my live reactions, play of that, thank you. Always greatly appreciated. I'll be live this upcoming weekend once again on Saturday, Pitt and Penn State at noon Eastern time, and then next Sunday, Seahawks Steelers at 1, and then WWE Clash of Champions on Sunday night, September the 15th, along with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Falcons. Austin and Styles now just trading shots back and forth as the OC, the club, enters the ring. All 6 members now in the ring. Stone Cold, Braun Strowman, and Seth Rollins, as this was a contract signing, but we all know how contract signings go in the WWE. They always go wrong. With the OC now in there as well, AJ, Gallows, and Anderson. Second down, second and long for the Texans. 2:45 before halftime. Watson under center, looking to throw. Actually, play was dead from the start. Fake the give. Running back wasn't even paying attention, so Watson just ran. I don't believe he can hear in his helmet. So maybe some technical difficulties there. So Watson just runs it and ends up getting back to the line of scrimmage. Saints call a timeout. Third down on the way. 3rd and 16. Austin 3-16 for the Houston Texans as Seth frickin' Rollins and Braun Strowman attack the OC, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. Strowman about to run around the ring and hit a shoulder tackle on Gallows right in front of the entrance ramp. Strowman going after Anderson now. Burn it down chance as Rollins tunes up the band to hit Styles with a stomp. However, AJ gets Rollins out of the ring, throws him out of the ring, but now Styles doesn't know it. Stone Cold standing behind him. Styles about ready to turn around, and Stone Cold's going to hit AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, United States Championship, with a Stone Cold Stunner, double bird, and Austin with the Stone Cold Stunner on AJ Styles. Oh, hell yeah. Crowd on their feet, just loving it. Stone Cold's Broken Skull IPA in his hand, up in the corner, smashes them together, Stone Cold style, as Stone Cold will stand tall to end the opening segment on Monday Night Raw. Strowman signed the contract. I don't believe Rollins did, but we will still have a Universal Championship match on Sunday with Rollins and Strowman. There's the King of the Ring set up in the corner. Austin won the King of the Ring back in the 90s, and that's how Austin 316 got underway. That's how all that got started. Still to come tonight, Becky Lynch and Charlotte versus Sasha Banks and Bailey. First and goal, the 2-minute warning for the Houston Texans in this first game of the 2-game doubleheader for Monday Night Football kickoff 2019. Texans lead 7-3. Commercial break now with Shaq and Papa John's for WWE Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. If you have chat questions and comments, let me know in the comment section below. Also, be sure to share this. Hashtag Monday Night Football, MNF, and also use the hashtag WWE, hashtag Raw. Follow myself, CoolHandLuke96, right here on Periscope and over on Twitter. And Gridiron18, like, follow, and subscribe. Gridiron Ring, and myself, CoolHandLuke96, on social media. Links are in the description below. If you're watching on playback on YouTube, but Gridiron18, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. Almost at 1,000 subscribers, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you don't have any social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, right here on Periscope, that's obviously alright, but I would highly recommend creating one. All you need is an email. Be sure to give Gridiron Ring and myself, CoolHandLuke96, a follow on social media. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Gridiron18, and then CoolHandLuke96, Twitter, and right here on Periscope. Subscribe on YouTube. Commercials now for both WWE Monday Night Raw, as this is the go-home show for Clash of Champions, which is on Sunday. The last go-home show for a Raw for pay-per-view was last month for SummerSlam, and I was actually at that go-home show. That was in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and that was when we saw the return of Goldberg in the main event segment on Miz TV, as it was also another contract signing. Goldberg came out, signed the contract, as Dolph Ziggler already had, which made their match official then for SummerSlam the following Sunday. Goldberg ended up winning a 2-minute match 6 days later. So this is the first pay-per-view since SummerSlam for the WWE. Been about a month. SummerSlam is a week early this year, so almost a month, as today is September 9th, 2019. We'll have SmackDown tomorrow night. We'll have to see what happens there. I wonder if they'll plug anything, advertise anything for tomorrow night. And then we'll have NXT on Wednesday. One of the last NXTs on the WWE Network, as NXT will begin live on USA Network next Wednesday, September the 18th, for the first hour. And for the first 2 weeks, the 18th and the 25th, NXT will be live on the USA Network from 8 to 9, and then from 9 to 10 on the WWE Network. So tomorrow night, the final 1 hour NXT on the WWE Network. This upcoming Wednesday, 9/11. We will never forget. There's The Undertaker. I totally forgot about this just a moment ago when I said I wonder if they'll plug anything for SmackDown tomorrow night. Well, the Phenom, the Dead Man, will be on SmackDown tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on the USA Network. He was actually on College Game Day this past week, a couple days ago, as College Game Day was in Austin, Texas, for the LSU-Texas game, a game the Tigers defeated the Longhorns 43-30. We're going to have a match with Cedric Alexander and AJ Styles next on Monday Night Raw. Second and goal for the Texans. Saints call another timeout. So bell rings, match underway. AJ will win one way or another, I would think. But if Cedric does, it'll probably be Cedric Alexander, AJ Styles on Sunday for the United States Championship at Clash of Champions. Broncos-Raiders preview coming up at halftime for Monday Night Football. However, I will recap everything that happened during college football on Saturday and also yesterday in the NFL. Broncos-Raiders coming up later on tonight after this first Monday night game of the year. As usual, 2 Monday night games to kick off 2019, a doubleheader. Next week, that's when we'll start 1 Monday night game week in and week out from now until the end of the season. Browns will play the Jets next Monday night, September the 16th. 3rd and goal for the Houston Texans. I'll get back to NXT and more professional wrestling here in a bit. So 7-3. From the 2-yard line, Houston in shotgun, 3 wide, running back to the left of Deshaun Watson, the former Clemson Tiger. Touchdown, Texans, touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, a 2-yard touchdown pass from number 4 to 10, which makes it 13-3. Texans over the Saints. So yes, the Saints did score at the beginning of the 2nd quarter. They kicked the field goal to make it 7-3. But now the Texans just scored once again. Deshaun Watson now 2 touchdowns on the evening, a 21-yard rushing touchdown and now a 2-yard touchdown pass to DeAndre Hopkins. Also have stats of this game coming up here momentarily as well, so stay tuned for those. And thank you guys for tuning in and watching wherever you are currently watching from around the world. WWE Monday Night Raw, AJ Styles and Cedric Alexander. 147 in the first half. And Kyrie Fairbairn's extra point is up and good for the Houston Texans. It is now 14-3 as the Deshaun Watson-led Texans lead the Drew Brees-led New Orleans Saints 14-3 here right before halftime. So back to professional wrestling. As I was saying about NXT, tomorrow night's Tuesday. SmackDown will be on USA at 8. From 8 to 10, Undertaker will be on. And then on Wednesday, 2 nights from now, NXT will be on for the final time on the WWE Network for the 1-hour episode of NXT. Next Wednesday, the 18th, that's when they'll move to 2 hours. The first hour, however, as mentioned, will be on the USA Network. And the second hour will be on the WWE Network. That'll be like that for 2 weeks, the 18th and the 25th. But then come October the 2nd, that is when All Elite Wrestling AEW will begin on TNT. That is also a Wednesday. 8 to 10 for AEW, as they just announced another city they'll be headed to in November. They'll be heading to Nashville, Tennessee on Wednesday, November the 13th. They're actually coming to my area in the process of them heading to Nashville from Wednesday, October the 2nd. They'll start off in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, and then Philly, Boston, Pittsburgh, Charleston, West Virginia, so on and so forth, Charlotte, North Carolina, and then Nashville, before heading to Chicago Thanksgiving Eve. And yes, it will be All Elite Wrestling versus WWE. It is another war in professional wrestling. Instead of WWF Monday Night Raw versus World Championship Wrestling, WCW, on Monday nights, on Wednesday nights now, starting October the 2nd, as NXT will get a jump 2 weeks prior on the USA Network with NXT. It very well might allow them, or not allow them to do that, make them want that, how do I want to say this? It'll make them want to go back to TV14, yes, correct. We'll see what happens. I mean, as of late, they've been trying to go back to that, I do believe. It's just, a matter of, obviously, all the ratings, are they getting enough people to tune in, one, and then just working your way down from there. I mean, hell, tonight, just a moment ago, Austin hit the stunner. Stone Cold Steve Austin hit a Stone Cold Stunner on the phenomenal AJ Styles, the current United States champion. And in the meantime, he did flip him off and hit the stunner. Normally, as of late, when Austin, past 10 years, I should say, when Austin has hit a stunner, it's just no giving the bird, it's just the stunner. So obviously, you know, they're telling their superstars, okay, you can do this, you can do that now, rather than, okay, you can't do this, you can't do that. So, but yeah, NXT is going to be getting a jump 2 weeks prior to AEW beginning, and then it'll be a Wednesday night war, as people are saying, with AEW and NXT with WWE. So All Elite Wrestling versus WWE with AEW versus NXT starting October the 2nd. And that's why I now have a 2 TV setup, basically, because I was wanting to watch both programs at once. And in the meantime, too, I can watch 2 football games at once and 2 events in general. If there's 2 things on at once, you know, that I really want to watch, like tonight, Monday Night Football and WWE Monday Night Raw, you know, Texans and Saints 14-3. Clock hasn't moved. Bill O'Brien arguing with the officials as he's pissed off about something. And we're back to the action with Monday Night Raw as well. So watching both events in the meantime. About CM Punk with All Elite Wrestling. I mean, yes, potentially. But the thing is, WWE is still a multi-billion-dollar business. Like, they're not going to be going anywhere. One person's not going to obviously, you know, tear him down. So, I mean, if he goes there, you know, good for him. Right now, I don't think he will. If he does go anywhere, it probably will be AEW, but it very well could be WWE though too. But in the meantime, I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. At the earliest, it might not be until, you know, early 2020. Once these first couple months of AEW on TV go by, along with NXT on the USA Network. So yeah, starting October 2nd, if you guys are big professional wrestling fans and watch both AEW or want to watch AEW and NXT at the same time, you're going to have to flip back and forth like you did back in the late 90s or anymore. Just do what I just did. Go out and buy a smaller TV and have 2 TVs. 2nd and 10 for Drew Brees and company. And they're going to get stuff in the backfield on a halfback screen on 2nd and 10 back to the 30-yard line. So 3rd and long coming up for the former Purdue Boilermaker. Purdue 1-1 after losing to Nevada week 1 on a game-winning 50-plus yard field goal. And then the Boilermakers defeated Vanderbilt on Saturday 42-24. This match on Raw has been disqualified, has ended. Now we're having the Viking Raiders War Machine come out, getting a huge reaction. It looks like we're going to get War Machine, Gallows, and Anderson on Monday Night Raw, as Hanson and Rowe are now attacking the United States champion AJ Styles. Clothesline to Gallows. Gallows and Anderson got involved and attacked Cedric, and that's what led to the DQ and the end of the match. And then the Viking Raiders came out. 14-3, Texans still lead the Saints. Rolling on the field is a completed pass, but the previous play is under review. Drop kick from Cedric Alexander to AJ Styles. Might have a match on the pre-show come Sunday at Clash of Champions with Gallows and Anderson. 2/3 of the OC along with the Viking Raiders. Or maybe, hell, a 6-man tag if they don't want to have a U.S. title on the line. But however, it's Clash of Champions. All titles are always defended, so that should be defended come Sunday. They might announce something later on in the week. Just keep an eye out for my predictions over on YouTube. Subscribe as well. But a 6-man tag maybe with Viking Raiders, War Machine, Cedric Alexander, and the OC come Sunday at Clash of Champions. King of the Ring, we're going to have a triple threat semifinal match with Ricochet, Samoa Joe, and Lone Wolf Baron Corbin. Also, Becky Lynch, Charlotte versus Sasha Banks, Bayley. That'll be coming up tonight on Monday Night Raw. I would use a split screen on my TV, but my TV I have, my split screen picture-in-picture does not work for some reason. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, yeah, I just ended up going out and buying a very, very smaller TV than what I have and set it up right next to it and having the two TV setup now. So, yeah, normally I would do the split screen as well, along with what you're doing and, you know, everybody else basically. But, yeah, with the split screen picture-in-picture not working on my TV, you know, I had to do what I had to do. So, WWE rating will be destroyed by All Elite Wrestling, but I doubt WWE will fold. Well, maybe for the first month or so. But the thing is, too, All Elite Wrestling's here to stay. It's going to be a rating war. It's going to be a Wednesday night war, no doubt about it. Firefly Funhouse tonight on Raw. Is that coming up next? Firefly Funhouse with The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. That is tonight on WWE Monday Night Raw. 1st and 10 for the Saints with about 20 seconds to play before halftime. And then at halftime, I will have some scores from college football and the NFL, some results from this past weekend, also some stats coming up at the end of this ball game before before Broncos and Raiders begins. Texans Saints currently on 14-3. Houston leads. I actually picked the Saints in this ball game this evening and also picked the Raiders. So I picked both home teams. Now the fans booing the refs as this is the first game in the Superdome since the NFC Championship game last January, where, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people's opinions, the New Orleans Saints got screwed against Los Angeles Rams in order to go to the Super Bowl this past year, Super Bowl 53, a game which the New England Patriots defeated the Los Angeles Rams 13-3. So either way for the Rams, it didn't work out. They still lost. 1st and 10 for New Orleans. 16 seconds down, 11, 14-3. This is actually the question of the day over on Gridiron Ring's Facebook and Twitter page as well, so be sure to go vote on that. Breeze looking to throw over the middle, actually tipped to the line of scrimmage, incomplete, just past the first down marker at the 40-yard line. So 2nd and 10, 9 seconds. Both teams have one timeout remaining. So we'll see what Sean Payton draws up here for Drew Brees, the all-time leading passer in NFL history. Actually broke that last year on Monday Night Football at home in New Orleans at the Superdome versus the Washington Redskins. 2nd and 10, shotgun. Breeze looking to throw over the middle, complete at the 38-yard line, and the Saints call a timeout with 4 seconds to go, and it looks like Will Lutz will come on and attempt a very, very long field goal. It's going to be about 55, 56 yards for Lutz, who has already 1 for 1 this evening. That's how the Saints have 3 points. It's 14-3 Texans. And we'll have to see if he's going to make this or not. His career long 57 yards a couple years back against the Falcons. So 4 seconds in the first half. Going to be a 56-yard field goal officially. Snap, hold, kick, up, and good. No. They say no good. That looked like it was good. No good. Kick is no good. My bad. My mistake. It looked like it was good. It must have went wide left right in the last second. See if we can get a replay of that. But it is halftime in the first of 2 Monday Night Football games this evening with the Texans and Saints. The Houston Texans are now leading the New Orleans Saints by a score of 14-3. Commercial break there, obviously. That is the Genesis halftime show now. Commercial break on WWE Monday Night Raw as well, as they are in New York City at Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, for the first time in 10 years. SmackDown will be there tomorrow night as well. Another NXT commercial for NXT, as NXT will be starting on the USA Network next Wednesday, September the 18th, as previously mentioned. Tonight premieres live September 18th on the USA Network at 8 p.m. Halftime show, there's Steve Young and Randy Moss. WWE with their city promo. Corey Graves saying Madison Square Garden's going to have to rebuild after Stone Cold just tore it down at the start of the show. I don't know if that's a little too early, especially with 9/11 on Sunday, or on Wednesday, excuse me. September is Pediatric Cancer Month, Connor's Cure. So Susie Colbert, Steve Young, and Randy Moss. Halftime for Texans Saints. Deshaun Watson is 12 of 17, 129 yards and a touchdown. 2 touchdowns. Has a 21-yard rushing touchdown and then a 2-yard passing touchdown to DeAndre Hopkins. A replay from earlier. Will Fuller, the 5th, played his college ball at Notre Dame. Actually is from Philadelphia. Committed to Bill O'Brien in Penn State in 2012, but then decommitted and went to Notre Dame. Drew Brees, 16 of 23, 160 yards and a touchdown. But either way, O'Brien ended up getting Will Fuller in the end, as O'Brien drafted the Fighting Irish wide receiver a couple years back in the draft. There's Derek Carr arriving for the Raiders game this evening. We'll have Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, and Louis Riddick on the call for the second game of Monday Night Football this evening. Now the big dog Roman Reigns is on Monday Night Raw. They timed this up just perfect. Roman Reigns on Raw during halftime of Monday Night Football. There's reports that maybe Stone Cold was going to have this segment, but Stone Cold Steve Austin actually kicked off the show. Old Chucky John Gruden arriving for Raiders Broncos as well. Reigns out talking about cancer. He actually fought leukemia in October of last year for the second time in his life. Halftime show with Texans and Saints. Very shortly here, I will have some results from this past weekend in both college football and the NFL. We had a great weekend of football in general, in my opinion. And week 3 and now week 2. This upcoming weekend will begin on Thursday for the NFL. The Panthers will play the Buccaneers on Thursday night in Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers lost to the San Francisco 49ers yesterday due to 2 pick-6 touchdowns. 2 pick-6s thrown by Jameis Winston, who's now in his 5th and final year of his rookie deal. We'll have to see if they extend him or not. And then on Friday in college football, we'll have 3 games as well, headlined by Washington State and Houston. Kansas also plays Boston College, and North Carolina plays Wake Forest in a battle of 2-0 ACC teams. Carolina Panthers in Charlotte, that's where WWE will be on Sunday for Clash of Champions. Chapel Hill, not far away either. The Carolina Panthers yesterday with Christian McCaffrey, they lost to the Los Angeles Rams. And now we have Julius the Warrior on Monday Night Raw Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. More children who have cancer, something you never want to see. Antonio the Arrival also on Raw alongside the big dog Roman Reigns. Miguel the Mighty M also on the red brand this evening. Great move by the WWE. Liam the Red Ninja. Halftime Monday Night Football with Texans and Saints. Liana Lily Terror. Out there as well alongside the big dog Roman Reigns. What's Reigns going to do? Turn on all of them? No, that'll never happen. They would never do something like that. If they did, they would lose all their sponsors, get their ass chewed out by everyone. At that point, that's when they would go under. Reigns talking about pediatric cancer. Penn State had Thon night this past Saturday against Buffalo. Thon is for children's pediatric cancer as well. Big Dog's music plays. ConnorTheCrusher.com for Connor's Cure. So we'll promote that right here on Gridiron Ring's live stream right here on Periscope. I'm Coolhand Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Gridiron Ring and myself, Coolhand Luke 96. On social media, links are actually in the description below. If you're watching on playback on YouTube, chat questions and comments, always greatly appreciated. Gridring 18, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Coolhand Luke 96 right here on Periscope and over on Twitter. Subscribe though on YouTube. Becky Lynch and Charlotte versus Sasha Banks and Bayley still to come on Raw this evening. So we'll recap college football now from this past weekend. Also keep an eye out for my college football week 3 predictions. I'll recap week 2 in that as well at the start of that audio recording. So keep an eye out for that over on YouTube. Also NFL week 2 predictions with a week 1 recap. So stay tuned for both of those videos, plus WWE Clash of Champions predictions. 13-9 for college football this past weekend. Virginia, they defeated William & Mary. Boise State defeated Marshall 14-7 on the blue turf. Ohio State shut out Cincinnati 42-0 at the Shoe. Michigan survived over the Army Black Knights in double overtime, 24-21. Maryland put up 60 plus once again, this time against Syracuse at home, a top 25 ranked Syracuse at the time. Syracuse no longer ranked, Maryland now ranked 21st in all of the land. So 63-20 final from College Park. Syracuse will now host Clemson on Saturday night. College Game Day was planning on going there if Syracuse would have won, because Clemson defeated Texas A&M 24-10. I'll get to the game here very shortly. But since Clemson won and Syracuse lost, College Game Day will now be heading to Ames, Iowa for the Battle of the Cy-Hawk Trophy with the Hawkeyes of Iowa and the Cyclones of Iowa State. They will be heading to Ames, Iowa for the first time ever this Saturday. Virginia Tech, they got revenge on Old Dominion, the Monarchs. Winners last year at home over the Hokies. However, this year, Virginia Tech winners at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg over ODU. Missouri defeated West Virginia. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening this evening to my live reactions play-by-play right here on Periscope of WWE Monday Night Raw and Monday Night Football, Texans and Saints. Mizzou over WVU. West Virginia looked bad, and from a source of mine, West Virginia football is going to be bad this year, so get used to it, Mountaineer fans. Purdue over Vanderbilt, as previously mentioned, 42-24. Clemson 24-10 winners over Texas A&M in a SEC-ACC showdown. Colorado defeated the Nebraska Cornhuskers in overtime at home 34-31 as Ralphie defeats Big Red for the second consecutive year. San Diego State winners over UCLA. Central Florida defeated Florida Atlantic from Boca Raton. BYU won in double overtime over the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee now 0-2 for the first time since 1988. Their head coach, Jeremy Pruitt, actually today called the program a sinking ship, just like the Titanic a little over 100 years ago, as players have now transferred. After starting out 0-2, lost to Georgia State last weekend. They were a 25-point favorite at home and lost by 8 points. And they lost the BYU Cougars then this weekend in double overtime. A lot of double overtime games in college football this past weekend. Still at halftime for Monday Night Football, and a match with Becky Lynch and Charlotte versus Bayley and Sasha Banks coming up next on Raw, as we're about to start the 9 o'clock hour. All my rowdy friends are coming over tonight for Monday Night Football, Texans and Saints. We're going to get back at the second half here coming up next. BYU over Tennessee, as mentioned. Penn State defeated Buffalo 45-13. Here comes the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Watson 12-17. Breeze 16-23, 129 yards and 160 yards respectively. However, Deshaun Watson has both Texans touchdowns, one on the ground, one through the air. Breeze also has an interception. Chat questions and comments always greatly appreciated. Let me know that you guys can hear me loud and clear. Also, if you have chat questions and comments, let me know in the comment section below. LSU went on the road and defeated the Texas Longhorns. Oregon put up 77 on Nevada. The Ducks over the Wolfpack. Texas actually dropped to number 12 in the latest AP poll released yesterday. LSU jumped both Ohio State and Oklahoma to number 4. And the New Orleans Saints will get the ball to begin the second half. Houston will kick off left to right. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Chat questions and comments always greatly appreciated. Underway now in the second half of Monday Night Football. 14-3 is your score. Texans lead the Saints, and New Orleans will begin at the 15-yard line. So LSU defeated Texas. Oregon defeated Nevada. Michigan State, the Spartans, defeated the Broncos of Western Michigan. Ole Miss over Arkansas in the SEC. North Carolina 2-0 after defeating the Miami Hurricanes at home in Chapel Hill. The U now 0-2 for the first time since 1978. And then 3 late games out west. Cal, Washington. This game didn't even get started until after midnight here on the East Coast. So it didn't get over until about 4 a.m. Eastern Time. Due to a lightning delay, that's why it was postponed for a little while. Cal and Washington in the Pac-12, some late night West Coast action. Washington was ahead most of the entire game. I did stay up and watch most of it until I fell asleep. But Cal ended up coming back and winning 20-19. So Cal defeats the Washington Huskies on the road. Justin Wilcox defense with Cal Golden Bears looking stout early on. Washington should have won this game, though, I did think. USC and Stanford also in the Pac-12. USC, great second half. The Trojans defeated the Stanford Cardinal. But big news in Los Angeles today. Former Steeler wide receiver, NFL Hall of Famer Lynn Swann, who played his college ball at USC and was most recently the athletic director for the Trojans, resigned this afternoon. So Clay Helton's job, his seat getting a little hotter now, I do believe, even with USC winning. Whoever SC hires as their AD, they're probably not going to keep Clay Helton, especially with Urban Meyer and Bob Stoops unemployed in college football right now. Bob Stoops coaching the XFL, yeah, which will begin in February, but hell, come February, he might be the head coach at USC, and, you know, they're going to have to find a new head coach then for the Dallas team in the newly renovated Extreme Football League, the XFL, which is owned by Vince McMahon, the chairman of WWE. Bayley and Sasha Banks now making their presence felt on WWE Monday Night Raw tag team match. Bayley and Sasha versus Becky and Charlotte. Had a huge run by Alvin Kamara just to play a go. And now an incomplete pass to the Swiss Army knife in the New Orleans Saint offense. Taysom Hill, former quarterback from BYU, his Cougars defeated the Tennessee Volunteers in double overtime, as previously mentioned. But yeah, big news in Los Angeles today. Lynn Swann resigns as the AD. So we'll see what happens there. Touchdown Saints in the meantime on 2nd and 10. Touchdown New Orleans Saints. That is Latavius Murray, the former Raider and Viking. Played his college ball in Orlando at Central Florida. They defeated Florida Atlantic on Saturday. Still taking college football by storm after going undefeated as a non-Power 5 school a couple years back with Scott Frost. Scott Frost now back as alma mater, Nebraska. But great run by Murray. As they show the replay, he hit the hole and went. Touchdown Saints, 14-9, but we're going to make that 14-10 now after a Will Lutz extra point. So Texans lead the Saints 14-10 in the third quarter. Commercial break with WWE Monday Night Raw as well. But yeah, Clay Helton probably still going to get fired, long story short. And maybe Bob Stoops, maybe Urban Meyer. I know he's teaching a class as a professor at Ohio State right now, as well as working for Fox as a college football analyst in studio. If you guys haven't seen that yet, but we'll see what happens. I mean, if USC wins, you know, say hell, they go undefeated, Clay Helton will probably keep his job at that point, but they lose even 1-2 games, he's probably going to get fired, and they'll move on. You know, if they hire Meyer, they hire Stoops, maybe at that point, if they don't have an AD, they'll allow them to choose who they want to be their boss. A lot of stuff, you know, to happen with college football and the NFL, as it is a long season. So we'll see what happens. Just gotta let it play out. Obviously, all that's hypothetical, but so USC defeated Stanford on Saturday night in the Pac-12, and then Minnesota and Fresno State also went to double overtime, and the Golden Gophers out of the Big Ten went out west and defeated the Bulldogs of Fresno State after a clinching INT in double overtime. So I went 13-9 in college football this past week, and like I said, keep an eye out for my college football week 3 predictions. Week 2 recap, I'll go over everything I just talked about there once again, more than likely. But in the meantime too, I mean, you know, this is obviously going to get uploaded to YouTube, so, you know, how I could just basically, you know, title it live reactions of, you know, Monday Night Football, Texans and Saints, and WWE Monday Night Raw, as this is the go-home show for Raw this evening, for Clash of Champions on Sunday, Sunday Night Football next weekend, Eagles and Falcons as well, and I'll be live right here on Periscope, live reactions, play of those, so be sure to tune in. But then also maybe just add in the title, you know, College Football Week 2 recap, or maybe how I always like to put stuff in the description below, with all the links to social media, so be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Gridiron Ring, and myself, Coolhand Luke96, on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and right here on Periscope. NFL yesterday, NFL 100, kicked off this past Thursday with Packers and Bears. Green Bay defeated the Chicago Bears 10-3 in Chicago at Soldier Field. Yesterday, the Titans and Browns played in the rock and roll city of Cleveland, Ohio. In this game, the Browns still had a chance to come back and win down 22-13 early fourth quarter, but then Baker Mayfield threw 3 interceptions in the fourth and final quarter of play, and the Titans defeated the Browns by 30 points, 43-13. Browns will bounce back. Titans will stumble probably later on in the season and still find a way to miss the playoffs, I bet. But you never know. Obviously that's why they play the games. It's not decided on paper. It's decided on the field. It's a very, very long season. If your team lost yesterday, I said this last night during the Steeler-Patriot live stream right here on Periscope. If your team lost yesterday, don't worry. Hand off Carlos Hyde, first down Texans. Gain 12. If your team lost yesterday, this week, in the NFL as a whole, don't worry. Don't overreact. It's just one game. Just move on. In my opinion, the Steelers, they're going to totally forget about the Patriot loss last night and just move on to Seattle. We're on to Seattle, as Bill Belichick would say. Take something out of the Patriots playbook, who now have Antonio Brown at wide receiver after he got released, asked for his release, and was granted it by the Oakland Raiders on Saturday. Pass incomplete by Deshaun Watson, intended for DeAndre Hopkins, 2nd and 10 on the way for the Houston Texans, formerly the Houston Oilers, but then moved to Tennessee, became the Tennessee Titans. So Houston didn't have a football team, a professional football team, for quite some time. So the Titans, the Oilers. The Texans then came into the league in 2002 as an expansion team to make it 32 and split up the conferences and divisions with realignment, 16 apiece in the AFC and NFC. 4 in the 4 divisions for your 16 to make the 32. If you guys know math, you know what I'm talking about. Handoff, and we got a 2-yard gain by Duke Johnson, who was traded from Cleveland to Houston just recently after Lamar Miller went down for the torn ACL for the year. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching, listening this evening, as I'm doing a audio-only live reaction stream right here on Periscope for Monday Night Football. Texans and Saints, 3rd and 8 for Houston on the way up 14-10, and also WWE Monday Night Raw tag team match with Becky Lynch and Charlotte versus Bayley and Sasha Banks. 4 wide for Watson in the shotgun. 3-step drop, pump fakes, pass over the middle, completed the 45-yard line. First down. Houston, Will Fuller on the reception. Yesterday, also, the Baltimore Ravens defeated the Miami Dolphins by a score of 59-10. Obviously, that has to speak for something. Lamar Jackson had 4 touchdown passes. Looked great in his first game in 2019, but still, the Ravens, I know they put up 59, and Jackson played well, but they were playing the Miami Dolphins, for God's sakes. The Dolphins are literally the worst team in the NFL now. They are the new Cleveland Browns. I have Dolphin fans who have said the same damn thing, so you might as well take that to the bank and take my word for it. Ravens over Dolphins, though, 59-10. We'll see how Baltimore, continues to play as the season progresses, though. If they continue to put up 59 points week in and week out like Maryland is doing, 2 Maryland teams then with the Baltimore Ravens and the Maryland Terrapins in College Park. Something in the water down there at that point. Obviously then, Baltimore would be one of the top teams in the AFC, but still, New England and Kansas City are your top 2 teams in the AFC on the red side. Red brand for WWE Monday Night Raw. And going on, blue brand SmackDown tomorrow night. On the NFC side, the blue with the NFL, the top 2 teams there. I still think, even though the Saints are playing right now, the Saints, and you might as well throw the Cowboys in there with the way they played yesterday, but you got to have the Rams there as well. They're the defending NFC champions. So, Houston ball, 3rd and 10, up 14-10, under 10 to play now in the 3rd quarter, 9:59 exactly. At the 45-yard line, Texans going left to right across your television screen, audio, radio dial, since you're listening to audio only, live right here on Periscope this evening. First down run for Deshaun Watson as he gets out of bounds. Texans move the chains from the 45. Watson didn't have anybody open downfield. Decided to tuck it and run. Wide open. Green grass for days, green turf for days inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. From the 45 to the 27, handoff to Carlos Hyde now. He gets to the 21 they're going to mark him down at, so 2nd and 3 on the way. Yesterday as well, the Vikings defeated the Atlanta Falcons 28-12. Eagles came back from down 17-0 at home, defeated the Washington Redskins. Rams over the Panthers, as previously stated earlier. Chargers, they won in overtime over the Indianapolis Colts. Charger fan of mine, I was talking to him just earlier today, and was telling him, obviously, because around here in central Pennsylvania, Charger-Colt game not going to be on nationally, on national TV. Watson with an interception at the goal line. Flag on the play. New Orleans returning it out close to midfield. See what the flag is. But obviously with Colts Chargers not on national TV around here, we have offside on the Saint defense, so the penalty's not going to, or the interception's not going to count. Texans are going to get the ball back. So they luck out there. See the replay, the offside, see if it was a good call or not. Nose tackle in the middle. And yeah, that's an offside. Made the offense jump a little bit with the snap. So no INT for Deshaun Watson. Texans up 14-10. They'll get the ball back 1st and 10. See where they spot the ball at. Ball's going to be at the 15-yard line. Figure 4, now a figure 8 for Charlotte on Sasha Banks on WWE Monday Night Raw. From the 16-yard line, Watson under center. Pass over the middle, complete. Touchdown, Texans. DeAndre Hopkins once again his 2nd touchdown reception this evening. A 2-yard and now a 16-yard touchdown from Deshaun Watson to DeAndre Hopkins. Watson also has a 2-yard or a 21-yard rushing touchdown. And because of the offside penalty, Houston puts more points on the board as they got the ball back after the Watson interception. One play later, they put the ball in the end zone for 6 points. Match will continue on Raw as they go to commercial break, but beautiful pass on the slant over the middle, 16 yards out from one Clemson Tiger to another. Watson to Hopkins, 2nd time this evening. 20-10 is your score pending the extra point from Kyrie Fairbairn. But Colts, Chargers, obviously Chargers were up most the entire game, and I was talking to him because, as mentioned, obviously around here Chargers aren't going to be on TV unless it's a national televised game. And yesterday in our area, 1 o'clock on Fox, it was Redskins Eagles. 1 o'clock on CBS, it was Titans Browns. Everybody then saw Giants Cowboys on Fox at 4:25. Chargers also played at 4 o'clock because obviously we played at home. 1 o'clock local kick then against the Andrew Luckless Indianapolis Colts. But then I was telling them, I said I checked the score here, there, in overtime. It's like, what the hell happened? Like, how did it get to that point? Well, obviously, the Colts came back and tied it up and sent it to overtime, but then in overtime, Austin Eckler with a rushing touchdown to seal the victory for the Los Angeles Chargers. Joker commercial starring Joaquin Phoenix. That'll be in theaters October 4th. Also, Burger King has tacos now, too. Did you guys know that? So commercial break for both Raw and WWE, both commercials. Commercials for both, if I can talk this evening. Been talking a lot this weekend, plus I got to talk some more when I record my predictions for college football and NFL and WWE this upcoming week, so keep an eye out for those. But commercials for both WWE Monday Night Raw and Monday Night Football. But Chargers defeated the Colts in overtime, and then the Seahawks defeated the Cincinnati Bengals as well. The Seahawks will now come to Pittsburgh next week to play the Steelers, who lost to the Patriots 30-33 last night on Monday Night Football. Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football going on right now with Texans and Saints, and then a doubleheader will conclude later on tonight, probably about 1:30, I would think, as that is also taking place out in the West Coast. 10 p.m. Eastern Time kick out in Oakland with the Broncos and Raiders, so 7 local time. Broncos and Raiders played in the final Monday night game of last year. I did live reactions play right here on Periscope. That was Christmas Eve, actually. So hopefully everybody had a great Christmas this past year. Christmas, hell, will be here before we know it, here in a couple months to end 2019 before 2020 begins. Heard that Donald Trump doesn't need glasses because he's got 2020 as well, but we'll see about that. But Broncos Raiders will be the second Monday night game of 2019 now in NFL 100. Also yesterday, as mentioned, the 49ers defeated the Buccaneers on the road in Tampa Bay. Cowboys over the New York Football Giants 35-17, and then the Patriots defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football 30-33 last night. And Monday Night Football on right now with Texans and Saints. 21-10 is your score. And then Broncos Raiders coming up next, as it is 9:11 Eastern Time here on the East Coast on 9/9/19, 9/11 on Wednesday. We will never forget. Back to the action as well on WWE Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Gridiron Ring and myself, Cool Hand Luke 96 on social media. Breeze pass completed the 28-yard line. Alvin Kamara makes a couple guys miss, gets the first down. 11-yard reception on the halfback screen from Breeze to Kamara. Purdue to Tennessee. Big news in the NFL earlier today as well. Thank you for the likes, super likes, and super hearts. Also, be sure to hit the like, super heart, and super like button. 1st and 10 for the Saints. But since Nick Foles went down with an injury yesterday, man in motion for the New Orleans Saints. Fake the give to Kamara for Breeze. Pass complete near side of the 40-yard line before getting pushed out of bounds at the 42. So yeah, be sure to hit that like, and super heart button. Totally forgot about that this evening. So yeah, like, follow, and subscribe. Gridiron Ring, Gridiron 18, and Cool Hand Leak 96. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and right here on Periscope. Chat, questions, and comments. Always greatly appreciated. There's Sean Payton on the sideline. Has been the Saint head coach since 2006. Took over right after Hurricane Katrina. Hard to believe that's been 13 years ago now. Handoff on 2nd and 3. And first down, Saints on the Latavius Murray run. Murray and Taysom Hill now coming out of the ballgame. Well, actually, Hill will stay in. Michael Thomas comes back in. There's J.J. Watt. Really haven't said his name a whole lot this evening. Yeah, he has 0 tackles. J.J. Watt has 0 tackles this evening. However, he has played every snap but 3. Taysom Hill on the carry, 2 yards for the former Cougar from Provo at BYU. But yesterday, Nick Foles went down with an injury. Broke his clavicle, got surgery today. Going to go on IR. He's eligible to return week 10. We'll see how the Jaguars are playing at that point. as they traded for Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Josh Dobbs earlier today around lunchtime for a 5th-round pick in 2020. So Josh Dobbs, now a Jacksonville Jaguar. He played his college ball in Knoxville, Tennessee, alongside Alvin Kamara. So Dobbs could very well start now for the Jags. Gardner Minshew, I think, would play, to start off. He has been there for a couple months now. Rookie out of Washington State. He knows the offense more so compared to Josh Dobbs. But the thing is, with Dobbs, he has NFL experience with Pittsburgh. 12 passes over 3 years, but has played well in the preseason. Big topic right now in the NFL with the preseason is a lot of the starters need to play more in the preseason so they're ready to go week 1 in the NFL for the regular season. Because the past couple years, as of late, you don't play in the preseason. The first 3 weeks of the regular season are basically just an extended preseason. So the regular season technically will start in September, this past weekend now. But then come, beginning of October, that's when it will really set in and start, because that's when everybody's going to be playing real football by that point. So, pass complete as Breeze hits Thomas on first down, 2nd down on the way, 2nd and 2 coming up. Tennessee football bad, though. Talking about Josh Dobbs and Alvin Kamara. Going to be 2nd down. They say 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3 in the 3rd. Saints down 21-10. Not surprised that the Texans are up. Both teams have very high-powered offenses. I figured the Saints would end up winning. They haven't played, obviously, at home since that NFC Championship game last year against the Rams, a game they got screwed in. Use that as momentum to come out and defeat Houston tonight. Saints actually play the Rams in a rematch next week in LA. Maybe if they lose tonight, they'll win next week. Or hell, maybe if they win tonight, they'll still win next week. I don't know. That's why they play the games, folks. Bailey with a cover on Charlotte, kick out at 2.5. 2 for 2 in the red zone on touchdown passes for the Texans, but 0 for 2 for Drew Brees and the Saints. Pass incomplete at the 15-yard line. Charlotte and Becky defeat Bailey and Sasha. Charlotte just pinned the SmackDown Live Women's Champion Bailey. They might have a match now at Clash of Champions, unless that's already been made official and I don't know about it. 2nd and 10 on the way for the Saints. Becky, I know, is facing Sasha for the Raw Women's Championship, so yeah, they'll probably make Charlotte Bailey official for Sunday for SmackDown. Taysom Hill in at quarterback now, as Breeze is lined out wide to the top of your screen. Hill with a keeper inside the 10 at the 9.5-yard line. 3rd and a long 4 coming up for the Saints. But yeah, Foles went down with an injury. Gardner Minshew's there, but they traded for Josh Dobbs. We'll see how long it takes for him to start. But Dobbs and Kamara lit up Knoxville with the Volunteers at Tennessee, playing college ball together a couple years back. But ever since, Tennessee football has absolutely sucked. Tennessee football has not been relevant since Peyton Manning was there. Touchdown Saints. Breeze finds Taysom Hill in a slant over the middle. And it's now 21-16, a triple threat semifinal match in the King of the Ring this evening on Monday Night Raw with the one and only Ricochet, the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe, and the Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin. Firefly Funhouse also tonight on Raw with the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Talk about the King of the Ring. Tomorrow night on SmackDown, we're going to have a semifinal match with Elias and Chad Gable. Will Lutz extra point up and good for the New Orleans Saints to make it 21-17. However, we do have a flag on the play. Now we're going to recap Monday Night Raw from the top of the show with Stone Cold Steve Austin, Braun Strowman, and Seth Rollins, and then AJ Styles and the Club, the OC, coming out and imitating the Texas Rattlesnake, and then a match with Styles and Cedric Alexander after an attack from Rollins and Strowman on the OC, and then a stunner from Stone Cold to the U.S. champ AJ Styles. Flag will be on the kickoff. Touchdown Saints, 21-17 Texans lead. Almost the end of the third quarter. This game coming down to the wire. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching, listening to my live reactions right here tonight on Periscope. Like, follow, and subscribe. Gridiron Ring and myself, CoolHandLuke96, on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Gridiron18. Subscribe on YouTube and follow myself, CoolHandLuke96, on Twitter and right here on Periscope. AJ Styles and the OC now walking backstage inside Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. Chat questions and comments, always greatly appreciated. Be sure to tune in on Saturday. Pitt, Penn State live reactions, play right here on Periscope. And also next Sunday for NFL and WWE action. Styles interview with Sheriff Schreiber. Now it is the new tag team of Dolph Ziggler and Robert Bobby Roode. All Dolph Ziggler has done now to get people over, other than lose to Bill Goldberg, former Georgia Bulldog, had a hype video to hype up the Dogs over who they played, Murray State on Saturday. Talk about Georgia Bulldogs. AJ Styles is a big dog fan. He lives in the Peach State. He is the United States champion currently in the WWE. We have a challenge from Dolph Ziggler, and they shake on it. Or maybe was that an agreement for them to stay clear of each other? 619. Here comes a little big man, Rey Mysterio. Mysterio, I bet you any money he's going to face Andrade next on Raw. But all Ziggler. Now, Mysterio is going to face Grand Metalik next on Raw. Surprising. Derek Carr warming up for the Raiders before the Raiders game against the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football to end Week 1 in 2019 for the NFL. Up next, Rey Mysterio, Grand Metalik on WWE. Monday Night Raw, The Undertaker will be on SmackDown tomorrow night. But all Ziggler has done as of late in WWE when he's there, when he's not doing his comedy, is being a tag team and put over who WWE thinks is going to be one of the next big superstars. Remember when Drew McIntyre got called up? And McIntyre hasn't been seen as of late. We'll see what is up with him. But with Ziggler and McIntyre, they were a tag team when McIntyre first got called up from NXT. When he came back to the company, he was released like 5 years ago, and then went to TNA, became a champion, came back, NXT champion, got called up. It was Ziggler and McIntyre as a tag team, and then Dolph ended up turning. Now Ziggler's in a tag team with Robert Roode, Bobby Roode, and sooner or later, one of them is going to turn on each other, and Roode will hopefully get the push that he finally then deserves, but we'll see what happens. 1st and 10, incomplete for Watson. 2nd and 10 on the way. Better ingredients, better pizza. It's a better day for Papa John's Pizza, according to Shaquille O'Neal. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Papa John's is, I mean, it's good pizza. I've had better. It is a little pricey. But chain-wise, pizza for myself, Little Caesars, and then Domino's. I mean, Pizza Hut's damn good too. 2-yard run for Houston, third down on the way. Local places in my area, though, that's the go-to. That is the go-to. 6173, if you know what I'm talking about. Third and 8 for the Texans. 2-2-2 to play in the third. 2:22. Today is 9/9/19. 9/9/99. No, this isn't Nazi Germany in 1940. This is September the 9th. 9/9/19. Happy birthday. Third and 8. From the 17-yard line. Hopkins in motion. Watson looking to throw. Going for it all. Intercepted at the 40-yard line by the New Orleans Saints. Intended target was Will Fuller. Flags come flying now. Going to have some unnecessary roughness. Late hit after the play. 21-17. Saints coming back in this ball game. Down 4. 1:48 to play in the third. Now the Texans are saying they have the ball. WWE Clash of Champions, brought to you by Skittles, is on Sunday on the WWE Network. All championships will be defended. Keep an eye out for my Clash of Champions predictions over on YouTube. Subscribe to Gridiron Ring on YouTube if you haven't done so already. And, okay, that's going to be the 15 yards for Houston. DeAndre Hopkins literally picked up the Saint defender and body slammed him. He must be itching to watch Monday Night Raw or something, I don't know. Probably a little pissed off they had to play on Monday Night Football and he's missing Raw, so he's going to put a wrestling move on the Saints after an interception. 15 yards for Houston, though, on the penalty. So after the INT, New Orleans is going to keep the ball, and they're going to tack on 15 yards from the end of the play, and New Orleans is going to have great field position on the right side of the 50 to begin their next drive. Down 4, 21-17, almost the end of the third quarter. Normally, at this time, about 9:30 on the East Coast for Monday Night Football, we probably wouldn't even be at halftime for the first game. But since it's a doubleheader, week 1, as usual, week 1 game, first game of week 1 of Monday Night Football is at 7 o'clock, the second at 10. Normally, Monday Night Football will begin at 8:30 every Monday all season long. Rey Mysterio, Grand Metalik. Been an interesting matchup so far. .619 position for Rey Mysterio on Grand Metalik. And Metalik moves out of the way. Quick roll up. 1, 2, kick out from little big man Rey Mysterio. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching, listening this evening. Chat questions and comments, always greatly appreciated. Gridiron Ring, Gridiron 18, and myself, League96 on social media. Be sure to follow. I'll be live on Saturday once again. College football. And next weekend in the NFL and WWE. WWE Monday Night Raw powerbomb position for Metalik on Mysterio. They now go over the top rope ringside. Monday Night Raw is in New York City at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. Back to Monday Night Football, though, now. Texans lead 21-17. Watson just threw a pick, though. So the Saints are getting the ball back. Coming up after this game, Raiders hosting the Broncos, and then on Thursday night, Panthers, Buccaneers on Thursday Night Football to start week 2. Holy hell. Metalik goes flying over the top rope to take out Rey Mysterio ringside. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line they spotted for the Saints. Breeze 3-step drop, pass near side complete. Michael Thomas at the 41-yard line. 2nd and 1. Watson's not going to like watching that back on film. He threw into double coverage, and then Hopkins, who was in the area, Will Fuller was the intended target, body slammed a Saint defender, and 15 yards were tacked on for the Saints. 2nd and 1 now for the black and gold in New Orleans. Toss play, Alvin Kamara near side, and he gets down inside the 20-yard line to the 12, and then a fumble. Saints actually pick it up, run it closer to the end zone some more, but I believe they're going to mark Kamara down inside the 15 to 14-yard line. Rolling on the field, runner, actually a fumble, and then the Saints recovered. So we'll see if he was down. I mean, either way, the Saints, he's down right there. So, I mean, if Houston wanted to challenge it, they could. I mean, maybe just a couple yards. The Saints lucked out, though. They got a couple more yards tacked on after the fumble recovery. After the fumble and then the recovered fumble by them. And Houston, yeah, they're going to look at this. Or actually, the Saints are going to call timeout. Why are the Saints calling a timeout? Hike the damn ball. It's about a 2-yard difference, so it's not really going to matter. I mean, it might, though. Nice drop kick from Grand Metalik in the meantime on Raw. Replay of that toss play to the near side from Breeze to Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah, he was clearly down when the ball came out. Mysterio kicks out at 2.5. 13 seconds to play in the third, Friday the 13th on this upcoming Friday. Hopefully everybody has a happy and safe Friday the 13th. Hopefully Freddie and Jason don't come and get you. Or hell, maybe Pennywise will show up too with It Too out in Peters. 1st and 10 from the 12, man in motion. And Breeze and shotgun looking to throw. Pass near side complete. Gonna lose about 5 yards though, maybe. About 3. About 3-yard loss on the pass. That was to Austin Carr. And that is also the end of the third quarter for the first game of 2 on Monday Night Football this evening. Rey Mysterio 619 on Grand Metalik. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. If you have chat questions and comments, let me know in the comment section below. Frog Splash from Mysterio cover 1, 2, 3. Mysterio picks up the win over Grand Metalik on WWE Monday Night Raw. Chat questions and comments always greatly appreciated. Like, follow, and subscribe. Gridiron Ring, Gridiron 18, and myself, Cohan Luke 96 on social media. Thank you for the likes, super likes, and super hearts as well. Hit that like, super like, and super heart button. Share this as well on social media. Hashtag WWE, hashtag Raw, hashtag Monday Night Football, MNF. Also, Bachelor in Paradise still on, as it is only 9:30 here on the East Coast. That is on from 8 to 10 on ABC. Bachelor in Paradise, former bachelors or bachelorettes from previous seasons Tonight, in the main event, I would assume they haven't set up next or anything like that. Raw tonight, triple threat semifinal match in the King of the Ring. Ricochet, Samoa Joe, Baron Corbin. Probably definitely going to be the main event, to be honest with you. And then Elias faced Chad Gable tomorrow night on SmackDown. Winners will face on Sunday at Clash of Champions to determine the new King of the Ring. Anybody from the Raw side and Elias I'd be fine with. I don't want Chad Gable to be King of the Ring. We might have a 6-man tag tonight here too. Rollins, Strowman, and Cedric Alexander backstage talking. They might be up next versus the Club. Or hell, they might have that 6-man tag on Sunday at Clash of Champions. I honestly don't know. That'd be triple duty though for Rollins and Strowman. That'd be a little too much, don't you think? The NFL and ESPN ready for football. The NFL, college football, on whatever network, I'm ready for football. I'm watching football Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and on Monday. Along with professional wrestling on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, sometimes on Saturdays, and sometimes on Sundays. But then once AEW comes in the fold, it's Monday, 2 on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Breeze looking to throw, has a man in the end zone. Touchdown, Saints, to begin the fourth and final quarter of play. Drew Brees with a 14-yard touchdown pass to Traquan Smith as the Saints will take the lead 23-21 over Houston after the Deshaun Watson interception just a moment ago. Nice, easy rollout for Breeze to the near side. Smith wide open towards the back corner of the end zone, and Breeze now with another touchdown pass this evening. 24-21. Will Lutz extra point up and good. Texans still have all 3 timeouts. Saints have 2. 14:55 to play. Watson responsible for all 3 Texans touchdowns. Most passing touchdowns in NFL history. Peyton Manning 539, Drew Brees at 522, and Tom Brady with 520. Hell, both of those quarterbacks with Brees and Brady might surpass Peyton Manning this year. And when Peyton broke Dan Marino's record, and when Peyton broke Brett Favre's record, that was a big deal. Just imagine how big of a deal it's going to be when Brees will more than likely break Peyton Manning's record this year. And then Brees, who knows how much longer he's going to play for. Same thing with Tom Brady. But then potentially Tom Brady breaking Peyton's, which he probably will. And then Tom Brady potentially breaking Drew Brees' record because, like I said, who the hell knows how much longer both Brees and Brady are going to be playing for. So take it in while you can, folks. Saints kick off. Straight up Steve Austin with Fluffy this evening on USA Network after Raw. 24-21, Saints lead the Texans. Thank you guys for listening this evening. Always greatly appreciated. Decided to change it up just a tad this evening and do a audio-only live stream on Periscope. So thanks for watching. Saints, a lot of momentum now. 5-yard loss on the run by the Houston Texans and Duke Johnson. 2nd and 15 on the way coming up. Tyreek Hill also went out with an injury yesterday too for the Chiefs. Totally forgot about that. He will more than likely go on IR. That was actually Carlos Hyde on the run by Houston. 8-man tag team match. It's going to be the Viking Raiders, Cedric Alexander, Seth Rollins, and Braun Strowman versus the OC, Dolph Ziggler, and Bobby Roode. 8-man tag. Or 10-man tag, excuse me. 10-man tag team match. That will be the main event. They'll have the triple threat semi and the King of the Ring as the probably. Or maybe to kick off the 10 o'clock hour. Street Profits backstage. I like them as a tag team. Don't like what they've been doing backstage promo-wise because they haven't done shit other than that. Flag on the play. Holding on the Saint defense. Penalties declined. First down, Houston. But the Saints have a lot of momentum. Coming back from down 21-10. To take the lead 24-21 now, here early in the fourth quarter. But a penalty, automatic first down for Houston. So 1st and 10, Texans down 3, 24-21. 13:42 to play, ball at the 38-yard line, handoff. That's Carlos Hyde, first down, out past the 50 for the Houston Texans. Hyde, former Ohio State Buckeye. Played for the San Francisco 49ers. And then last offseason, before 2018, before last year, signed with the Cleveland Browns. Then the Browns shipped him to Jacksonville. Then he ended up in Kansas City. And then the Chiefs just traded him to Houston Texans. First and 10 from 44 on the right side of the 50 now for Houston. Fake the give. Watson looking throw. He's going to get sacked back at midfield by the Saint defense. 2nd and long. Laramie Tunsil, the new tackle for the Houston Texans, brought over from Miami last weekend as well in that trade, along with Kenny Stills, after they traded Jadeveon Clowney. Bubble screen near side, loss of 2. Von Bell on the tackle. 3rd and even longer coming up for the Houston Texans. 12 minutes to play. Last Tuesday on SmackDown, Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Rowan, the whole Roman Reigns, who attacked him, Buddy Murphy, who was it, Doppelganger. 3rd and 17. 3rd and 17 from the 48 for Houston. Watson looking to throw, steps up in the pocket, flag on the play, sacked back to the 42-yard line once again by the Saints. That's 4 sacks now by New Orleans this evening. Holding on the offense, penalty's going to be declined. 4th down. New Orleans going to get the ball back up 3. New Orleans, you have 2 timeouts. Houston has 3. New Orleans, you run the ball the rest of the game. You run the ball. Simple as that. Simple as that. Close it out. Run the clock down and defeat the Texans in week 1. We'll see what happens. Houston punts on 4th and Michael Jordan. Fair catch, 2nd and 4 inside the 5 to the 4 by the New Orleans Saints. Another flag on the play, so more dirty laundry here in the 4th and final quarter play. see what the flag is. Probably, actually, a legal formation on the Texans. I was going to say a block in the back. Roman Reigns, Eric Rowan on Sunday at Clash of Champions. They're actually calling him Eric Rowan once again. Just not Rowan, it's Eric Rowan. Redbeard versus the Big Dog at Clash of Champions on Sunday. Now here comes the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. Joe. And New Orleans will actually... Why the hell is there a ball on the field behind the punt returner? That makes no sense whatsoever. We had a flag on the previous play, and actually the Saints elected for the Texans to re-punt, so that's what's going to happen. But up next on Raw, we're going to have a triple threat semifinal match in the King of the Ring with Ricochet, Samoa Joe, who has made his way to the ring, and also Baron Corbin. 4th and 23 for the Texans. They will repunt after the penalty, as New Orleans wanted them to repunt. Get a better return on this one. I mean, obviously the last one was fair caught inside the 5-yard line, so see where they start this drive at now after the punt. Great field position now compared to what it was. Ball bounces to the 20 and going to be down to the 26-yard line. So instead of starting at the 5 for New Orleans, they'll start at the 25. 1st and 10, up 3, 24-21 in the 4th and final quarter of play. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Chat questions and comments, always greatly appreciated. Like, follow, and subscribe. Gridiron Ring and myself, Coolhand Luke 96, on social media. That is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also be sure to subscribe on YouTube. Almost at 1,000 subscribers. I will make a thank you video on YouTube once I hit 1,000 subscribers, which hopefully will be sometime soon. Maybe potentially by the end of the week or the end of next week. My goal was to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the calendar year in 2019. Now it's the middle of September, and I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. So maybe we can hit 1,500 by the end of the year if I can hit 1,000 by the end of the week or very shortly in the near future. But like I said, I will make a thank you video for 1,000 subscribers, so be sure to check that out once hopefully I do hit 1,000 subscribers. And then keep an eye out this week for college football and NFL predictions. College football week 3 and NFL week 2, along with WWE Clash of Champions, as the Clash pay-per-view is on Sunday. NFL week 2 will begin on Thursday. College football week 3 will begin on Friday. And then week in and week out, every single week, prediction and recap videos plus live streams right here on Periscope. So that's why I cannot tell you anymore. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Gridiron Ring and myself, Coolhand Luke 96, on social media. ESPN Monday Night Football celebrating 50 years this year. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Score by quarter, 0-0 in the first, 14-3 in the second, and since then it has escalated to 24-21 as your score at the moment, with New Orleans leading the Houston Texans. 1st and 10 from the 28, Baron Corbin making his entrance on Monday Night Raw. Breeze looking to throw, has a man at midfield, incomplete. Alvin Kamara, the intended target, actually dropped it. Flag on the play, though. holding on the Saints. 10-yard penalty, they'll replay first down. Now here comes the one and only King Ricochet. I honestly think he's going to win King of the Ring because he's been known as King Ricochet before. So then WWE will trademark that once he wins King of the Ring. Give him a huge push. He's one of the best wrestlers they have. He's the best athletic wrestler, in my opinion, in the world. AJ Styles, best wrestler overall in the world. So I think Ricochet is going to win this match. I mean, I really wouldn't mind, any of the three. Kamara breaking tackles left and right out towards midfield. First down and 10 to 47. Saints lead 24-21. I wouldn't mind Ricochet winning. I wouldn't mind Samoa Joe winning. I wouldn't mind Baron Corbin winning. Chad Gable, the only exception on the SmackDown side. Really wouldn't want him to win the King of the Ring. Elias, I wouldn't mind either. It'd be good for him, give him a little bit of a push. But with Ricochet winning, it escalated him, the whole way to the top, basically. Second and 10 for New Orleans after Houston stuffs at the line of scrimmage. Stone Cold is trending here in the United States on Twitter. First man to gain pinfall or submission will win this triple threat semifinal match. That is starting just now. Bell has rung, match underway. Empty backfield, trips to the top for New Orleans. Breeze looking to throw, going to get sacked back at the 36-yard line. The winner will be in the King of the Ring finals on Sunday at Clash of Champions. Corbin with a shoulder tackle on Ricochet. King Joe, King Corbin, King Ricochet, they all sound pretty damn good. But I think it's going to be Ricochet. I do. Fourth down for New Orleans. They will punt. So Houston going to get the ball back with 3 timeouts, down 3 with 8:05 to play. Punt down inside the 5 at the 4. Houston will have to start with the end zone at their back. 7:44 to play. Saints lead the Texans. Perfect punt by New Orleans. Perfect punt. So far this evening, Houston, Deshaun Watson is 17 of 26, 172 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and an interception. Houston rushing, Carlos Hyde leads the way, as it looks like he's going to be the number 1 back. 10 carries, 83 yards. Duke Johnson has 6 carries, 21 yards. Deshaun Watson, 4 carries, 40 yards, and 1 touchdown, responsible for all 3 Texans touchdowns this evening. Texans Saints Monday Night Football, Game 1 of the doubleheader to kick off 2019. Broncos Raiders coming up next. Houston receiving, and I'll probably go over these once again at the end of the stream, unless nothing changes. Will Fuller, 2 catches, 69 yards. DeAndre Hopkins, 6 catches, 52 yards. Both Deshaun Watson passing touchdowns for DeAndre Hopkins, 6 catches, 52 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Duke Johnson, 4 catches, 33 yards. Jordan Akins, 1 catch, 17 yards. And Carlos Hyde, 1 of 2 receiving. So 85 total yards for the former Buckeye Carlos Hyde. Drew Brees, Big Ten quarterback, played Purdue. 27-36. He is the NFL's all-time leading passer. Second all-time passing touchdowns, previously mentioned earlier tonight. He has 2 touchdowns this evening, 1 interception, 208 yards passing. Tom Brady, third on that list. As I was saying, they'll probably both break Peyton's passing touchdown record this season, I would think. Alvin Kamara, number 41 for the Saints, 9 rushes, 84 yards. He also has 7 catches, 72 yards receiving. Great fantasy night for Alvin Kamara. Latavius Murray, 5 of 39 and 1 rushing touchdown. So that's how New Orleans has the 24 points. 2 passing touchdowns from Breeze, 1 to Traquan Smith, 1 to Taysom Hill. Rushing touchdown from Latavius Murray, and then a Will Lutz field goal. Sean Watson responsible for all 3 Houston touchdowns. 2 passing, 1 rushing, both passing to DeAndre Hopkins. Pass incomplete by Houston from Watson to Hopkins on 2nd and 6. Going to bring up 3rd down and 6 now. Continuing on with stats, and like I said, I'll probably go over these once again at the end of the show, unless nothing changes. Michael Thomas receiving for New Orleans, 8 for 106 yards. Jared Cook, former Packer and Raider, 2 catches, 37 yards. Ted Ginn Jr., another Buckeye, still playing football, still hanging around, 4 catches, 36 yards. Traquan Smith, 2 of 26 and 1 touchdown. And Taysom Hill, 1 of 9 for 1 touchdown as well. Whistle blows, flag on the play as the Texans snap it. We're going to have a false start, though, on the Houston offense. That was on number 25, Duke Johnson. You can't get any closer to the goal line on 3rd and 6 with a 5-yard half the distance penalty to make it 3rd and 10 from the 3. Watson looking to throw, has a man at the 25. That's Hopkins once again, as his stat line continues to grow now on Monday Night Football. Will the Texans be able to drive 97 yards downfield and score to win this game? First and 10, 6:30 to play. And Johnson gets the carry up the far sideline, stiff arms a guy out past the 50 before being brought down to the 43-yard line. First and 10, Houston, as they move the chains. DeAndre Hopkins now 7 catches, 73 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Did he step out of bounds there? Nope. Came very close, but Duke Johnson looking like Kurt Warner, wearing that number 25, making all these moves for the Houston Texans. Kurt Warner.
The running back, not the quarterback. Scored number 25 at Penn State and played for the Seattle Seahawks in the NFL. Kurt Warner, the quarterback, bounced around. Played most notably with the Rams and Cardinals. Appeared in 2 Super Bowls as well. 1st and 10 to the 43 for Houston. Watson looking to throw. And he's going to be brought down a yard in the backfield for a sack by the Saints. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. Triple threat semifinal King of the Ring match on Raw. Texans driving to potentially take the lead on Monday Night Football. Insecurity from Joe to Corbin. It's going to be 3rd down, I believe, for Houston. 2nd and 11, excuse me. Handoff up the gut. No gain on the play for the Texans. $10 o'clock now here on the East Coast. There's old Bob Billy O'Brien. B.O.B. Texans are 7-12 on 3rd down this evening, as it is 3rd and 11. Hopkins in motion. Texans trail by 3, 24-21, under 5 minutes to play. Watson looking to throw, going to get sacked once again back at the 45-yard line. The 6th sack of the evening by the Saint defense. Laramie Tunsil not looking like a 2 first-round pick trade type of guy. Tunsil gets beat once again on the left side, and 6 sacks on the evening by the Saints. Coming up next, Broncos Raiders in about 15-20 minutes from the Black Hole in Oakland. This will be the last season for the Raiders in Northern California before moving to Las Vegas next year. Flag on the play on the punt. Ricochet with a cover on Corbin. Quick roll up, kick out at 2. A lone wolf power bomb from Corbin. A deep 6, excuse me, not end of days. Deep 6 from Corbin on Ricochet, and then Joe pulls Corbin out of the ring. Coquita clutch ringside. So Joe's going to make Corbin go to sleep, and then Joe will get back in the ring, and Ricochet will hit a 630 probably and end up winning the match. Something along those lines. Corbin's still hanging on. Baron Corbin in the Coquita clutch by Samoa Joe. We're coming down to the wire on Monday Night Football. Under 4 minutes to play. Saints getting the ball back. Up 3, 24-21. Texans still have all 3 timeouts. Coquita clutch now. Locked in on Corbin as that continues. Joe now has him down on the ground, though. Now Ricochet, holy hell, with a splash off the ring apron on top of Corbin, who was in the Coquita clutch by Samoa Joe. So Corbin, Joe, and Ricochet all down ringside. Replay of that. Wow, that had to hurt. Shaq is the new Papa, taking over for Papa John's. Todd Gurley, yeah, you might want to stick to Hulu, buddy. You can't run the ball to save your goddamn life anymore. Ricochet has Joe in position for the 630. Joe moves out of the way. Kokita clutch for Joe on Ricochet. Ricochet reverses. Code breaker. Joe in position once again for another 630. This is going to be it. Unless, where's Corbin at? Corbin might win. Ricochet from the top rope, 630 splash on Samoa Joe. There's Baron Corbin, though, too. Corbin drags Ricochet out of the ring, throws Ricochet over the top turnbuckle, or over the barricade at ringside, Corbin with the cover on Joe. 1, 2, 3. Baron Corbin onto the King of the Ring finals on Sunday versus either Elias or Chad Gable. If it's Elias, that's two heels. Wouldn't mind either of them winning. Would rather have Corbin. And then if it's Corbin Gable, Chad Gable, Corbin's clearly going to win that. There's no way in hell, unless somebody comes out and screws him. There's no way in hell Corbin's going to lose that. So Corbin takes away the win from Ricochet after Ricochet hit the 630 on Samoa Joe. Baron Corbin advances to King of the Ring finals on Sunday at Clash of Champions. Saint ball, 3:29 to play. Ball at the 7-yard line, 1st and 10. Alvin Kamara gets the carry. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Saints lead by 3, 24-21. We'll see when the Texans start calling their timeouts. They have all 3 remaining.
Corbin's going to win King of the Ring.
Should have been Ricochet, but it's going to be King Corbin. Pass complete. Breeze to Michael Thomas. Gain of about 5. Going to be 3rd and 2.
Should have been Drew McIntyre.
Or Corbin or Ricochet. Or even Andrade or Elias. But Corbin's standing tall a little bit, I guess. He's sitting in the throne. Wearing the crown, Tom Phillips. Not sitting on the crown with the throne. What'd you say, Phillips? 10-man tag team match in the main event on Raw. War Machine Viking Raiders with Cedric Alexander, Seth frickin' Rollins, and Braun Strowman versus the OC, Styles, Gallows, and Anderson, along with Ziggler and Bobby Roode. First down pass for Drew Brees to Teddy Ginn Jr. Under 2 to play now. 2-minute warning, 1:57. Lacey Evans, the sassy Southern Belle, making her appearance on Raw this evening. Pass over the middle was complete to Ted Ginn Jr. 2-minute warning now. Next 3 plays, I don't care what they are, by New Orleans, the Texans are going to be calling their timeouts.
But New Orleans now
on the right side of the 50. Yeah, really all they need, if they get stuffed, is a field goal to go up 27-21. Obviously, at that point, you don't want to get it blocked and return for a touchdown and lose that way, like Michigan State in 2015. Thank you guys for watching and listening this evening. Chat questions and comments, always greatly appreciated. Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston on Sunday at Clash of Champions. We'll see a preview of that tomorrow night on SmackDown Live. Friday Night SmackDown coming back, though, Friday, October the 4th, when SmackDown moves to Fox. AEW will be on TNT. NXT going to be on USA, along with Raw on Monday nights, NXT on Wednesday nights, though. But Houston, they'll call their 3 timeouts here, I would assume. I would hope so. To try to stop the clock as much as they can, and then play defense and try to keep the Saints, from putting points on the board. whether field goal or getting in the end zone. The Saints scored, the game's over. There's no way in hell Houston's going to come back and win that game. Down 10 then at that point with under 2 to play. And then it goes back if the Texans do lose this game, which they probably will. We'll see though. Anything can happen in the final 157, so we'll see. It's all going to go back to that Deshaun Watson interception, middle of the third quarter. And obviously, I know he had 3 touchdowns, all 21 points for the Texans this evening, but everybody's going to remember that one INT that he threw and basically
Lost the game at that point.
So, Houston, they'll take their 3 timeouts, I would think, and
Try to
keep New Orleans from putting more points on the board. And
if they do kick a field goal, you have no timeouts.
maybe 20 seconds left. You try to throw a couple Hail Marys at that point and get in the end zone, but
We'll see what happens. 10-10 here on the East Coast. Joe Flacco
going to start in his 12th season. First in Denver, though, with the Broncos. Tonight on Monday Night Football on the road against the Oakland Raiders.
on 1st and 10.
Alvin Kamara, first down run to the 30-yard line. At this point, you're New Orleans, you run the football.
Houston, I do believe, just called a timeout. They do. It's 1st and 10
for the Saints.
1:51
to play.
Handoff with Latavius Murray. Gain of about 4 yards.
Second down, timeout, Houston once again.
WWE is
Up for a People's Choice Award for the show of the year in 2019 with WWE Monday Night Raw.
Lacey Evans in the ring.
Toss play to Kamara. He's going to lose about 4 yards on second down. Gets out of bounds maybe.
If he got out of bounds,
The clock's going to stop. If not, Houston's going to have to call their third and final timeout on third down.
third and 11, and Houston calls their third and
Final timeout as New Orleans stayed inbounds, did not go out of bounds. Smart football.
Natalia now making her way.
Way out. The face-off versus Lacey Evans on Raw.
3rd and 11. See what the Saints draw up
Here
here.
with 1:41 to play.
Really, all you need.
10 yards. Kick a field goal, play defense. Texans have no timeouts, and at that point, just play prevent, make sure they don't score.
Another run, and New Orleans
Going to get about 4 yards on that carry. 4th down, they'll let the game clock and play clock wind down. 4th and 6 on the way, gain of 5. And then they'll call a timeout, kick a field goal, go up 27-21, kick off. Houston will have, as the play clock is at 1:12, 18 seconds on the, or game clock's at 1:08 now. Play clock at 12, so
Do the math.
you'll figure out the difference.
And
Saints going to call a timeout now with 55 seconds to play. Coming up here shortly, Broncos-Raiders Monday Night Football, game number 2 in the doubleheader this evening.
I just want to say thank you.
You for listening to everybody this evening, live right here on Periscope for my live reactions, play-by-play of WWE Monday Night Raw and Monday Night Football with Texans and Saints. Obviously changed it up a little bit with an audio-only recording, live stream. And stat-wise, not a whole lot's going to change other than rushing yards, so I'm not even going to go over those at the end of the stream here. Will lets on to attempt another field goal to try to send the Saints, put them up 27-21. Kick up and good. 27-21 is your score with 50 seconds to play. So no timeouts for Deshaun Watson. 50 seconds. They're down 6. Can Watson be the hero this evening and lead the Texans downfield and score? Quarterbacks of the night. Watson, 18-28, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and he's been sacked 6 times. Also has 40 rushing yards. Breeze, 335 yards passing on 29-38, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception as well. Other than that, though, I'm not going to go over any of the stats as I went over those a short time ago. Now, if this game goes to overtime and they play for 15 more minutes afterwards, yeah, at that point, yes. Had a overtime game yesterday that ended in a tie with the Lions and Cardinals, 27 apiece, second straight year. Week 1 in the NFL that a game has ended in a tie. Last year it was Steelers and Browns. We'll have to see if it's going to be the second straight year as well. The first 2 weeks of the season, weeks 1 and 2, will end in a tie because week 2 last year we also had a tie. Touchback on the kickoff, 50 seconds to play. Houston's going to have to go 75 yards with no timeouts to score to potentially win this game. Deshaun Watson has 5 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime in his career as the Texan starting quarterback. 1st and 10, 25-yard line, Texans right to left across your television screen, audio, radio, dial. 1st and 10. Watson looking to throw. Has a man, DeAndre Hopkins at the 40. What a catch. They're going to mark him down inside the 35 to the 33.
one play.
And they switch the field. Make it a little bit easier now in the next couple plays. You don't have to go for the home run ball. Beautiful catch by Hopkins. 2 catches, 2 touchdown catches this evening, excuse me. Watson looking to throw once again. Out of the shotgun with 43 seconds to play. And almost sacked. Has a man over the middle. Touchdown, Texans. Oh my God.
Kenny Stills.
Stills, 2 plays. Deshaun Watson takes the Texans 75 yards and puts 6 points on the board. Deshaun Watson, the hero this evening. Still 37 seconds to play, though. 27-27 your score pending the extra point from Fairbairn. 2 plays, 75 yards, and a touchdown by Deshaun Watson and the Texans. 1 to Hopkins, and then a post over the middle in the end zone to Kenny Stills, who they just traded for last weekend from the Miami Dolphins. He's probably glad, along with Larry Thompson, that they both got out of Miami the way the Dolphins played yesterday.
Extra point.
Up and no good. Extra point is no good. We might be headed to overtime. Oh my God, I didn't think this was going to happen. Natalia defeats Lacey Evans. However, there is a flag on the play.
Personal foul.
Running into the kicker on the defense, and these Saints fans are letting the refs hear it. Getting screwed once again. But it was clearly a running into the kicker. Firefly Funhouse up next on Raw as well.
Definitely running into
Into the kicker. Not roughing, but running into. Only a 5-yard penalty.
So they will
Attempt the extra point once again.
extra point now.
Up and good, 28-27, Texans lead. What a comeback from Houston. They're up 21-10 and then down 27-21. Now 28-27 after a two-play 75-yard drive from Deshaun Watson. Two beautiful passes. Definitely running into the kicker, no doubt about it. So the Saints aren't getting screwed, Saint fans. They got screwed in the NFC title game, yeah, but not tonight. Rams Saints, so next week we'll see who wins that rematch. Broncos and Raiders about to kick off as well. We'll see what Drew Brees can do now. He's got one timeout in 37 seconds. Can he lead the Saints downfield? All they need is a field goal. The Saints, your plays you're going to be running out routes to the sideline to get out of bounds, to stop the clock. Call your timeout once you get in field goal range. Will Lutz game-winning field goal at that point to potentially win the game. Kickoff, touchback in the end zone. See what Sean Payton draws up here. 37 seconds to play. Texans just scored to go up 28-27 on Monday Night Football. Thanks for tuning in and listening. Share this on social media. Like, follow, and subscribe. Gridiron Ring. Gridiron 18 and myself, Cohen Luke 96 on social media. Broncos, Raiders just got started. That game is now on ESPN2. They'll head to Oakland here in a second. Pass complete. Ted Ginn Jr. out to the 40-yard line on a gain of 15. Brees going to spike it on 1st and 10. Spiked. 20 seconds to play. 20 seconds. What a game this has been. What a game. 0-0 at the end of the first. I did tune in a little late this evening, as expected. I said last night I might tune in a little after 7. It's closer to 8, right at the top of the hour with Raw kicking off at the start of the second quarter as well. Pass complete at the 49-yard line. To Michael Thomas, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. You got to clock it. 6 seconds. You got to run another play. It's going to be a long field goal if you can get the first down. You got to get out of bounds zone and stop the clock. 2nd and 10, 6 seconds. Houston leads 28-27. Straight up Steve Austin. Special guest Dale Earnhardt Jr. immediately after Raw. See what happens here.
Empty backfield.
Quick pass at the 40. Caught. Timeout with 2 seconds. We're going to have a 57-yard field goal by Will Lutz to potentially win the game.
Lutz's career
long is 57 yards. Already has a 56-yarder this evening. 2 for 2 on the night. A 58-yard field goal attempt for the win. And the kick is up and good. The Saints win on Monday Night Football to kick off 2019 in NFL 100. 30-28 on a game-winning 58-yard field goal. Wow, what a game. There's nothing you can beat.
Wow,
there's nothing you can be mad about that about.
2
55+ yard field goals tonight for Lutz.
1 for the win.
Win as the Saints walk it off 30-28 over the Houston Texans on Monday Night Football.
Broncos,
Raiders underway now as well.
What a game.
What a game. Congrats to the Saints.
They defeat
The Houston Texans on Monday Night Football. Thank you guys for listening this evening. That's going to do it for myself, Cool Hand Luke 96, live right here on Periscope for live reactions, play-by-play of Monday Night Football and WWE Monday Night Raw. Deshaun Watson finished 20 of 30, 268 and 3 touchdowns along with an interception. Carlos Hyde, 10 of 83 rushing. Duke Johnson, 9 of 57. Deshaun Watson, 4 of 40 with a touchdown. Watson responsible for all 4 Texans touchdowns. Houston receiving, Hopkins, 8 catches, 111 yards and 2 scores. Will Fuller, 2 of 69. Stills, 3 of 37 and 1 touchdown with 50 seconds to play.
Duke Johnson,
433. Firefly Funhouse, though, now on Monday Night Raw. Saints stats coming up next on ESPN Monday Night Football doubleheader. Broncos Raiders. Drew Brees finished 32 of 43, 370, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Alvin Kamara,
13 of 97. Also 7 catches, 72 yards. Latavius Murray, 43 yards rushing and a touchdown. Michael Thomas, 10 of 123. Ted Ginn, 7 of 101. Raiders have the ball at the 10-yard line, about to march in and score. 2nd and 4 for the silver and black. Derek Carr hands off. Josh Jacobs gets the carry, gain of 2, the rookie running back at Alabama. Von Miller on the stop. And then Will Lutz, 2 field goals.
1 from
56, and then the game winner from 58.
What a game.
What a game. Lutz also had another field goal. Excuse me. Yowie, wowie. Bray Wyatt, The Fiend with Firefly Funhouse. Touchdown, Raiders in the meantime. Tyrell Williams, the former Charger,
with a 8-yard
touchdown reception from Derek Carr. Hey, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, hear that? Your Raiders just scored. Touchdown, Oakland. In the black hole.
6-0 Oakland.
But yeah, that's going to do it for myself, Cool Hand Luke 96, live right here on Periscope this evening. Be sure to tune in now next weekend. College football, NFL, and WWE live reactions right here on Periscope. Keep an eye out as well. College football, NFL, and WWE prediction videos on Gridiron Ring's YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, follow, and subscribe to Gridiron Ring, Gridiron 18, and myself, Cool Hand Luke 96 on social media. Saints defeat the Texans 30-28 on a game-winning 58-yard field goal, and the Raiders up 7-0 early on the visiting Denver Broncos. Let me in.